So here's a pretty wild statistic. 75% of U.S. healthcare dollars are spent on chronic, preventable illness. Preventable. Wow. That must mean it's related to lifestyle. Here's another statistic that's kind of frightening. Almost 500 million work hours are lost every year in the United States from people calling in sick. And an equal number of work hours are stolen from people just showing up and feeling lousy at work and not being able to produce. That's a wild number. I'm Dr. Susan Maples. I'm a passionate health educator, and I would love to help your company take a bite out of that number. So what are these lifestyle-related preventable illnesses? Well, for one, they're obesity-related. Type 2 diabetes, hypertension, acid reflux, sleep apnea, depression, periodontal disease. Did you know that periodontal disease is the #1 risk for heart attack and stroke? Most people don't know that. I would love to help your people assess themselves for all of these medical conditions that are preventable and help them facilitate lifestyle behavior change in themselves and influence their family members. Periodontal disease. This is another patient of mine who also grew up and disappeared from the practice for 6 years, and he came back and he walks with a cane and he has to lift his right hand because he had a stroke at the age of 36. He lost his business. He had a stamping concrete business, his home, and his wife. And he had no other risk factors. His mom was absolutely furious when she found out that he had periodontal disease, and periodontal disease was his only risk factor. So I called his vascular neurologist at Michigan State University to say, did you think about asking? And he said, you know, I think I've read something about that somewhere along the line, but I never did. Thank you, he said. A humble guy who felt terrible that this kid, 3 years later, not a kid, he's a kid to me because he was my childhood patient, was wandering around for the last 3 years recovering from a stroke while never removing the risk factors for another one. In March of 2014, the World Health Organization gave us a warning. We need to cut our sugar consumption by 75%. And by the way, where was that in the news? I would love to help each one of your employees take a look at what we're consuming every day. How to reduce our sugar, what does that mean in real life? And how to increase our fiber, and how to knock out some more of those hydrogenated fats. And caffeine. Did you know that 90% of adults are drinking caffeine on a regular basis just to stay awake? And 73% of kids. That's crazy. So if you're an organization that values health, and you'd like to be a workplace of choice, you'd like to actually help each of your employees feel better and credit you for it, I'm available for a keynote speech, a one-day seminar, or a 2-day retreat. I'd love to help.